Hi, I'm Tereza with PotomacBeads. Today I will show you how to bezel destination tags and how to turn them into a pendant or a bracelet so you can take them wherever you go with you. So let's gather the beads and let's start working. Together we will create today a bezel for this destination tag. The bezel will be made from cubic right angle weave, which we then will embellish with some extra beads. And we will be working with Miyuki 11 O's, 15 O's, and here for the embellishment I added bicones in 3mm size. The center will be the destination tag. You can choose whichever country you want. I started with New Zealand and today we'll be working with Japan. We'll be also working with Wildfire and we will start with 4 11O seed beads. So I put them already on my needle and on my thread, and I will be using two colors, but first we will start only with this one. So put on 4 11Os to create the starting point for our cubic right angle weave. I have a rather long thread, but you can work with whatever length you are comfortable with. And you can add a thread later. I keep a tail, and this is my first right angle weave part. And now I'm picking 3 11Os and I'm going to the same 11O from the other side, which will be the next part of my cube. Then I fold them and continue to the second 11O in the base, in the first segment we made. I'm picking up 2 11Os and I'm going through the 11O on the side and the one I started from. Again to the third bead from the base. 2 more 11Os going through this one and the one in the base, and the last bead will connect all the sides. So now we have 1, 2, now I need to add number 3 and 4 is already here. This is a little cube. Now I will go up and the last step in each cube is connecting all these beads on the top, at the top. So without adding any beads, go through the top beads and finishing in the same bead you started from. So if you are not familiar with cubic right angle weave, I recommend watching Ellie's video on our channel to learn how to actually do that, because this is like continuing. And now I will create 23 more of these, so I have 24 in total. So to do more, I'm putting on 3 11Os, turning and moving to the next side, adding 2 more 11Os, going through these 2 beads, turning again, following to the next one in the base, picking up 2 beads, going again through these 2, and now finally adding the last bead. First I need to go through the one in the base and the one from the first side, picking up 1 11O, and finishing again in the base, stepping up and connecting the beads on the top, finishing in the bead where I started from. So pull tight so everything is in its place, and like this I will continue until I have 24 in total. But I need to remember that with the last one I want to actually connect to the first one, so I need to stop there and I will join you there and we will meet. Now I have 23 of these cubes. With the number 24 I will be connecting the whole piece. So what you want to do, be sure that you didn't turn in any way the beadwork. Just put the ends together and then you need to realize which bead connects to which one. So if you haven't turned anything, then the bead which is facing you should be connecting the bead facing you on the other side. So I'm adding one 11-0 and then I went to the bead on the other side. I picked on second 11-0 and then I'm closing the gap. Now as I would continue in the right angle weave, I'm going to the next bead, which is the one in the center. Now I need to pick up one bead and go into the corresponding bead here on the other side. And to finish the side, also to the previous bead and the bead in the base. Turning again, going to the bead in the base, picking up one more bead and connecting the one across, the one from the previous side, and again going to the base. And now I have already all 4 beads here. It's this one, this one, this one, and this one. So all I need to do is to connect them. And pull. And this creates a ring from the whole beadwork, which we will shape into an oval and insert the destination tag. So if you finished like me on the outside, what we now want to do is to get here to one of the beads inside, where we will attach the first hole of the destination tag. So like this, insert the tag. You might have to stretch it a bit and go through the hole. I went here from the back to the front, but it doesn't matter how you position it. And then again through the same bead from the other side. Then I want to repeat this once more. And like this. So now we will have to do the same thing on the other side, but it is quite inconvenient to go through all the beads and just to jump here to attach this. So we will add the first part of the embellishments, and when we will reach this part, we will just attach also the second hole. So what we want to do is now to get to the front again, and we will do it through this bead here. It doesn't really matter how, but we want to end up in the front again in this row of these inside pointing 11-ohs. So I want to start from here, which is one of the beads which neighbors with the bead we attach the destination tag to. So it's right in the middle of the bezel. It's this one. So here we will be adding 15-ohs and 11-ohs on the inside. 11-ohs on most of the places and 15-ohs in the places where the bezel really bends. So we need smaller beads because we will have smaller caps. And here, even right above the whole attachment, we won't be putting even any beads, we will just go through, which is the point I'm at now. So I'm going without any bead to the second 11-oh, which neighbors with the bead I attached the destination tag to. Now I will add two 15-ohs one by one, so pick one 15-oh and go to the next bead. Pick another 15-oh and go to the next bead. And now we will be working with 11-ohs. So I switch to different color and we will be adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 11-ohs one by one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now it's time to add again two 15-ohs. So pick one 15-oh and go to the next bead. And pick another 15-oh and go to the next bead, which means that now we are at the point where we need to attach the destination tag on this side too. So go down to the bead in the inside row and then go through the destination tag through the second hole, again to the bead, once more to the destination tag, and again to the same bead. And now I want to get again to this bead here so I can close the gap between these two beads. So I will go a bit up, a bit back when you look at it like this, to the front through the inner sidemost bead, and then again back where I started from, and now without any bead to the next one. And that's it. This is right angle weave, cubic right angle weave, so in what way you get to the beads you need, it doesn't really matter. I just try to work nice and clean, and that's all. And now I will have to continue with two 15-ohs. So the first and the second. Now again I will add 7 11-ohs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I have 2 gaps for 2 15-ohs, and this side, or the inner side, will be finished. So I finished here in this gap where we started. Now you will work on the outside, so I will move to the outside row. And we will be putting beads in between these 11-ohs. So everywhere I will put 11-oh bead, with the exception of the gaps here in between the where I have the 15-ohs basically. So I finished adding the 15-ohs, and then I moved to the outside row through the beads here, and I will be putting one 11-oh between each of them. So pick one 11-oh and go around like this, picking one bead and inserting one bead every single time. Now we will do the same on the back side. So turn your beadwork and get through the beads to this row, which is the same row of beads but on the back. And here I will be again adding one 11-oh into each gap, again working with the second color. When you are done on the outside, you need to move back into the inner side row. So jump again through the green beads. And then it depends where you will start. So for me, I will start in the same place like on the other side. So that's the place where the hole is attached. So for me, I will again don't add any beads because I'm here. So I will be just closing the gap. If you are somewhere else, turn your beadwork and check if you are supposed to add a 15-oh, 11-oh, or do the same like me. So close the gap. And from here, I will continue like I did on the front side. So now for this gap I need to put here the 15-oh. And the second one. And now again I will put 7 11-ohs, then 2 15-ohs, close the gap, 2 15-ohs, 7 11-ohs, 2 15-ohs. After filling this row with beads, I want to add a base, like 2 parts that will connect each sides and won't let the bezel open. So go from wherever you are to the second bead here, to the second 11-oh, and you want to be facing this side, so the rest of the 7 11-oh group. And from here we will connect the other side with one string, and then follow here and connect the second side as well. And when you're there, put on 5 11-ohs. Doesn't really matter which color, I went for the purple one. And now what we want to do is this. So I will be going into the second bead on the other side in the opposite direction. So now my thread went left, now I'm going right. I pull, and what I want to do is circle through this segment here and return through this 11-oh. So go through the beads, rows 1, 2, 3, And then I'm going and returning through the purple bead here, and going down through the string of the 5 11/0s. I'm just be careful that you are having the string right underneath the green one. And now pull. You can adjust the position of the destination tag because it's a bit like turning up and down in the bezel. Pull and go to the 3rd bead on the opposite side, and that's it. And now we want to go to this bead. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm continuing to the 5th bead, where I will do the same. From the 5th bead I'm putting on 5 more 11/0s and doing the same. So I'm going up to the opposite side, to the same bead on the opposite side, then making a round through the green beads, just through the 3 of them. And now I am returning through this 11/0 here from this side, and down through the 5 11/0s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And finishing in the purple bead on this side. Pull, and this will hold the bezel nicely together, and the destination tag will be leaning onto it. And now you can leave it like this. I added few bicones here on this outside line, so we will do that, and then the destination bezel is actually finished. So we'll be adding bicones if you want to continue between these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 11/0s here, where the bezel is curving the most. So get there, and we will start here with the first bead. So put on 1 15/0, a 3mm bicone, and another 15/0, and just go to the next 11/0 which is sticking out. Adjust the beads and repeat. So 2 15/0s and a bicone between them. Again, and we will be adding 4 bicones on each side in total. And this is it. Now I will move over. You can just go through the beads, so like this, go over to the other side and add 4 more bicones also here. So at this point the destination tag bezel is finished. Now I would recommend you to knot somewhere the thread, and if you want to hang it on as a pendant on a necklace, you can attach rings here, for example, and hang it on a necklace. I will be stringing two sides of a bracelet with OvalDuo beads and Half Tila beads together with seed beads. So if you want, you can follow the rest of the video, but first knot off somewhere the thread so you are 100% sure that if something might happen to the bracelet, like the part around the clasp, whatever, the bezel will stay intact. I have quite a long thread, so I will be using the Wildfire as my stringing material for the rest of the bracelet as well. And I will start stringing from here, and I will be attaching the OvalDuos like this here to these two beads. So after I knot off the thread, I will just go with my thread and needle to one of these beads, and from there we will start stringing. So if you want to continue on the bracelet with me, I started from the green bead here. I put on two 11/0s, then the OvalDuo. There will be later a crystal like this, and from here I decided to put on one 15/0, then a Half Tila, and we will put on two more 15/0s. And it really doesn't matter what kind of a stringing you want to do. I figure out I might do this. To get there, the green 11/0s, I want to put on 4 of them. We will repeat a small right angle weave segment. So I will now go back through the first 11/0 I added, which will create this cross, yes, like this, and I will put on two more 15/0s, again a Half Tila, one 15/0 again, and one OvalDuo. And like this I will continue until I reach from here to the clasp a half length of the bracelet. Then I will turn and go back and string also the other side, which means it will create my half of the bracelet. You can string whatever you want, make it easier. You can do like one hole only beads, but I decided for this. So I will continue like this with 15/0s, Half Tilas, and 11/0s and OvalDuos until I reach the length of the clasp I need. So when I want to add the clasp, I will put on one 11/0 and 4 15/0s in the clasp. And now I will skip the 15/0s, and then I will go through all the beads which I added. Don't forget to pull and adjust the loop from the 15/0s in time, so that there's no thread showing anywhere and everything is nice and tight. And I will continue until I reach the bezel. And there I will jump to the second bead and finish the stringing on this side. And from the second bead I will just fill in the gaps. So as we started on this side, put on two 11/0s, go to the OvalDuo. Here I need to fill in the gap between the OvalDuo and the Half Tila with the 1 15/0. Now it's time for two 15/0s. And we won't be adding the 4 11/0s again, but we will just go through this bead so that the cross is in the middle. Then two 15/0s again to the Half Tila, 1 15/0, and to the OvalDuo. And like this I will finish the band until I reach the bracelet, where I will add the same loop like I have here, and then return in the same way to the bezel, go through the beads on the bezel here, where I will again somewhere knot off the thread just to make sure again. And from this side, from these two beads, I will repeat the same band like I did here, and that will finish the bracelet. So repeat as many times as you need on both sides to create the length of the bracelet you need. And when you're done with the band, the beading is over, you can now take the crystals and glue them in, as I will do later. I will use the purple ones, and with that the destination tag is finished. So you can use it as a pendant or turn it into a bracelet or some kind of a key charm to take it wherever you go and to remember where do you want to go next. So thank you very much for watching this destination tag bezel video. If you have any questions, you can pop them into the YouTube comment section or into our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making, where you can also post the pictures of your finished stuff. So thank you very much and see you in the next one.